Gas March in Kagoshima. This will be a 5 versus 5 for the neutral planet Hall. We have, for the defenders, Vivisector in a Bushwhacker Delta, Silvercraft in an Uller Prime, Firehound in a Hollander Alpha, Papskin in a Shadowcat Prime, and Starchild in a Madcat Alpha. To oppose them is the attackers. Zoidberg is in a Hephaestus Gamma, Sudibor is in an Awesome Prime, Milos is in an Aller Alpha, G. Paul is in a Chimera Alpha, AIM is in a Novacat Alpha. This is the first map of the campaign. It's the first team to reach 3 victories in the campaign either successfully defends or takes the planet. There's no flying assets as there's just too few players for it to probably be fair. Normally we don't like to use flying assets until it's a 6v6 or later. That's only if we have enough aerospace pilots. You can see the mighty weapons of war being fired off here by the mechs. Always a good idea to check your weapons to make sure they work before you go out on the match. You can see the timer down at the bottom. It'll start in 30 seconds or so. Trying to remember the commands so you can have a unobscured view. I'll have to look that up for next time, and we're underway. Starchild has the bulk of this team's firepower in the Madcat, and Vivisector has a good amount of firepower in the Bushwhacker. Shadowcat, very respectable as well. In fact, this entire list has got a very respectable amount of firepower. A lot of it appears to be medium range, so they'll have some punch, but they'll also be able to hit pretty hard up close. I believe Silvercraft will be acting as their scout, if you will, in the Uller, because he does have a tad bit more speed than everybody. He can hit about 100. The rest of the group, I believe, can do around 80 to 90. Teams will have 30 minutes to find and destroy the assets. They need to either completely finish off the other team, or they need to have more kills in order to be victorious. There are scenarios where it can end in a tie, but that has been very, very rare in the nearly 40 campaigns that we've played in this event. You can see that they're hugging the map here. They're going to head up to this base. This is a pretty big map. Not terribly big. I mean, you're going to run into each other eventually with a 5 versus 5, but definitely lots of room to maneuver. Lots of places to attack and try and force the short-range attack, long-range attack. You can see just how wide open it is, but you can also see that there's plenty of places for cover and maneuvering. And the teams are going to try and find each other so they can figure out what the enemy has for assets, and then they'll go in and adjust their plan accordingly. You can see that Silver kind of fanned off a little bit here, and it looks like they're going to have him come back up with the group and maybe come up. There's a bridge down around this other bend. I don't know if these mechs have GECM. They might. Which, if they do, that means they'll be able to leave the radar on and be able to look for radar contacts instead of just relying on visual confirmation. Now we can see that they're having Silver stay up with the group, and Pabst is going to take a turn as moving up front, I believe. They keep kind of sticking in this area. I almost wonder if this is their desired place to engage the enemy. You can see that they have some range, they have the hill, and unless on the very unlikely chance that the enemy would come from this backside where we just were. You can see that they've decided to move back up, and they're going to go, I believe, in the other side of the mountain. Starchild currently taking the lead. Waiting for the rest of the team now. We keep this a passwordless server so people can join in and see what we're up to, and they participate even without TeamSpeak, which is required to play in the event for coordination purposes. People are allowed to come in and play, and it's generally a pub-type atmosphere as much as the map and the situation allows, and gives everybody playing a chance to see the map and kind of maybe form strategies or test out mechs beforehand while the drop list is being created. And we do our best to try and get as many players as possible. It's a public event, it's an open event, and we just try and get people on to download TeamSpeak and get on there. They don't require a microphone, just speakers, because this leads to much better coordination during the actual drop. And we've seen matches as small as the minimum 8 players, and we've seen them as large as near a full server at 26 players. You can see the excellent vantage point afforded to the team while they're up here. Why don't we check in and see where the other team is currently positioned. Okay, they're on the south bridge. You can see they might be seen by the enemy. Looks like they're positioning 4 mechs. They're stay together except for their scout. Let's see where their scout is at. Okay, that's not exactly a scout. That's just bringing up the rear there. So they're all sticking together. They're headed up to those steps. And I believe that, stay with this team for now. I believe that Starchild or Paps were able to see them, but I'm not entirely sure that they were able to ascertain their strength, i.e. what mechs they're using. Assuming the teams stay in the same spot, they'll be roughly in the same position. Take a look here. Okay, Silvercraft. Okay, it looks like that they're still on the back side here. I believe this is near the edge of the map, the mid section of the edge of the map. See Paps can getting jump to try and get some visual. Let's zoom out and see exactly where we're at here. Okay, you can see that their team is near this center base. You can see that Starchild got up on the hill. And you can see that Zoidberg might have maybe gotten hit. Okay, there's their scout. Yep, Zoidberg probably took a couple of those PPCs. So Zoidberg now knows that he's facing a PPC and maybe a Mad Cat. He more than likely has GECM on that, so they probably have an idea of what each team is using. Zoidberg will probably carefully move up and try and get a definite radar or visual on the enemy composition and position, while the rest of his team will sit back and reposition. You can see that they're definitely got some they've got some pretty good range there. believe in this match that Zoidberg is the drop commander for his respective team, and that I believe Vivisector and perhaps Starchild and, or any combination of the veteran players over there are drop commanding the other side. We can see that the rest of the ELH led team is heading up here and
User joined your channel.
Recording the video. Hello, user. And we can see that Zoidberg is utilizing the hover's ability to climb mountains, and so he's getting up to get a visual view. It's, this is not exactly easy keeping that thing balanced. Harasser, a bit easier. You can see Zoidberg should be able to get. He'll be out of range, but he'll be able to see easy enough down here. I'm just going to quick check on something. Okay, looks like Zoidberg likes what he sees, and the ELH attackers are moving in. Zoidberg took some pretty good hits earlier, so he's being a bit careful how much he advances. You can see that the defenders are moving back a bit, trying to force a closer range fight that might be more to their fitting. Silvercraft trying to get down out of the way. Might have some action here. Large range laser, PPC. He got hit with the missiles and the laser. He should probably be okay. Still going to be a little bit hurt, obviously, and Alder doesn't have the best armor, and we're underway here. We have full contact. You can see the range advantage for the ELH side right now. Starchild utilizing what he can. Looks like Star's team has around 600 to 700 range, and Zoidberg's team has some assets, I believe, that are around 800 to 900. Of course, the PPCs in Starchild's Mad Cat could be ER, and if they are, he can reach out to 900 as well. You can see that they're trying to back up into this base a bit. They're utilizing the Scat, Mad Cat, and Hollander up front to try and take the damage. Now they're trying to back up. ELH is advancing. Defenders are trying to get to cover. The attackers are continuing to press the issue. Zoidberg firing off what I believe to be ATMs or SRMs and medium beam laser. You see Papscan is trying to Pop-Tart, that is, get up, fire weapons, and get out of cover. Get into cover. See that slowly backing up here. Looks like they're trying to force the battle to take place in this base. Looks like the attackers are very cautiously moving up with Sidibor leading the attack, and is awesome. You can see that they're trying to focus on Zoidberg because as the drop commander, if they can take him out, it falls back in the chain of command. Now mind you that both teams have a lot of veteran officers, so should that happen, they are able to sit there. Okay, Zoidberg is down, so likely there's already a chain of command in place. G-Paul firing off some missiles. Believe it to be LRMs. You can see that Vivisector is utilizing his bushy to get some shots off while the Mad Cat supports him behind a bit. So right now the defenders have a 5-4 advantage. Hephaestus is not largely a combat unit, but still is a loss, and but this match could still be anyone's game. You can see that Starchild and Silver are splitting off a bit to kind of somewhat flank, while Vivisector's moving up to try and get some shots off on Ames mech. You can see ELH utilizing, I believe, a double switch to try and spread the damage among the multiple mechs. You can definitely tell that both teams are trying to keep to range. They're currently about 400, 600 meters out the edge of some of their weapons. Silvercraft continues to work the flank without actually moving up. And you can see Firehound and Papscan are sticking behind them. Starchild in the middle. You can see Malos has lost an arm in his mech. See, both teams are being very careful about who takes damage and when, minimizing their exposure. To firing time right now, G. Paul is down, and now that might be enough with Milos missing an arm for us, the defenders, to move up and try and put an end to this quickly. Let's see what... Sudaborn is awesome. Lots of power there. Aim with a Nova Cat. When you lose an arm in a Nova Cat, you lose quite a few weapons. Milos also missing an arm. Sudabor telling them we have range. Let's back up a bit. See that the defenders are more than happy to sit back into cover at the moment. I believe that Sudabor has told them, or Aim or Milos, whichever one is in command right now, they're all deciding to try and move back and perhaps move into a base of their own. Plenty of time remaining with 15 minutes. Sometimes the best matches have a break in them. Utilize strategy, kind of make a decision on, make an assessment of where you're at, make a decision on your tactics. Silvercraft and Vivisector are moving up to try and take out Milos. Aim setting up covering fire for them to back up a bit. Sudabor realizing his mech doesn't have the speed to escape, and so they're deciding to make a stand here. Sudabor still trying to get away a bit. You can see Vivisector moving up with his Bushwhacker. Sudabor trying to spread out the damage, waiting for his weapons to reload. Lines up the shot. Fires it out. Okay, Sudabor is down. It should just be a matter of moments now. Aim, the only one left standing. No weapons left, and, well, that'll be it. So, an excellent battle, but the defenders take the first map, and we'll see you on the next Chaos March.